So here's the damaged eyelet. You can see it's kind of pulling apart here, so I'm just going to use some pliers to try and remove as much of it, or all of it actually. Of course, these eyelets are all in two pieces. One of the things I can tell about this eyelet, it's actually a nickel-plated brass eyelet, quite soft, and it's really common in sails. All right, so I've got one part of the eyelet off, and then the last part here. All right, so we have the hole. Most important thing to do is to actually measure the hole, or measure the eyelet. This is a 16mm eyelet, which is common on these older sails, and we're on the glue end, on the outside end. So with your base piece here, put that down on a hard surface, grab your eyelet. These are self-piercing eyelets. They've got the little teeth on them. Place the eyelet half with the raised section on top. Put your sail on top of that. Then the little other piece with the teeth, put that on top there. Make sure everything's kind of lined up. And then with your punch, place that in the middle. With everything in place, just hammer away. And you can see our eyelet is now in place. Finished. Okay, so we're just going to talk a little bit about eyelets. They come in a variety of sizes and styles and materials. So first off, the sizes. Typically on these old sails, the bottom of the sail is going to want something like about a 12mm eyelet, and you measure the inside diameter of the eyelet. And then on the outside, on the glue end, you're typically going to see maybe something like about a 16mm eyelet. Now the eyelets themselves come in two parts. There's this piece, and then you have this little top piece. Now I like these ones that actually have these little teeth in it, so it will actually dig into the sailcloth, and the sailcloth goes in there and actually hold the eyelet in place. But there are eyelets that don't have those teeth. I think they're called self-piercing eyelets, actually, the ones with the teeth. And they're the ones that I would get. Now, the other thing is the material. So you've got a lot of different materials you can get eyelets made in. Most typically, you see brass, very, very soft. And a lot of older sails will just have straight brass eyelets, and they do get that green corrosion on them. The most common kind of eyelet that sail makers use will be nickel-plated brass. So it'll be this, but it'll have a silver nickel coating, and they're really good, and that's what I actually replaced on that sail. Then you've got stainless steel, which is actually what I used. There's two kinds of stainless steel. There's 306 stainless steel, which is the one that I used. Looking at them, you can't tell the difference, but 306 is a softer stainless steel, and then there is, I think it's 314 from memory. I probably got that wrong, but it's 31 something, and that's the harder stainless steel, which is great, but I find using that hard marine, that full-on marine stainless steel, it's too hard to actually get it to flange over when you're hammering things in, at least on the big eyelets. Maybe on a small eyelet it's okay. So, you know, you can use the 304. Look, you could use straight brass if you wanted to, and it would be okay. Anyway, I hope this was useful. One thing, if you've never put an eyelet in before, or at least a large eyelet like these ones, maybe do a few practice tests. You can buy the punch and the base piece for your eyelet. Make sure you get the right sizes. You can buy them on eBay or Amazon or whatever. They cost you somewhere between $20 and $40. And then you can buy packets of eyelets. Again, you can get them from a marine store, you can get them on eBay, you can get them on Temu, whatever. But just be mindful of the size, and also be mindful that you get the self-piercing ones. And then think about the material, stainless steel, which kind, and then also maybe you could use brass or nickel-plated brass. Anyway, see you out on the water.